Soomaalida wuxuu imika idinka hadlayaa waxay community-ga Southern jooga ee dhinaca South East London waxay qabanayeen campaign-kan iyo waxay ka shaqeynayeen. So please give a warm welcome to Abdullahi.
Thank you very much. I'll try to correct you a little bit. I don't want to be myself up there now. I kept a clean nose, I played by the book, and that's the result. Here, I did fall off the horse. Excellent. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me to this absolutely important subject. And before I start, can I just put things into context first? My name is Abdul Mohammed. I was born in Kenya. The reason why I'm called Abdul Mohammed is because I grew up with a huge Asian community in Kenya. As you know, Kenya's got a diverse community as Tower Hamlets or Southwark. We've got people from all over the world. We've got people from Asia and so on. And that's the reason why, because my mother and father, my parents, come from Somaliland. They came to Kenya because they came with the British. My grandfather was a soldier with the British Army, and he came with a common war to fight the Germans in Tanganyika. And that's the reason why my family ended up in Kenya, and I grew up in Kenya as a result of that. And it's really absolutely important for me because this subject, as a result of this, I've got a lot of family there. I've got family in Kenya, I've got family in Somaliland, and I've got some people in Somalia as well. And because of what's happened historically in the past few decades, the hardships, the political turmoil and everything, people are relying on people who've managed to come abroad like me, who make a success. I get telephone calls from Somaliland every night saying, Abdullahi, when are you going to send me that money? I need this, I need school fees, the children haven't got any medicines. You know, my brother Bashir, who used to work in Saudi, has gone back to Somaliland, and he says, how come I haven't sent his £300 last month? The Habshir were pretty efficient all the time. What have you done with the money? Where is my money gone? And the Habshir are pretty efficient. What do? All they need for me to do is pick up the telephone, give them my name. My name is Abdullahi, that's my telephone number, and the money is in there instantly. No bureaucracy, it's pretty efficient. And as a result of that efficiency, it's a good business model because it works well. It does work well. The money goes there without much fuss, without filling in forms, without coming back to the office if we don't. Although, you know, sometimes you do have to go to the office a couple of times. But it's efficient. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's the problem. The problem is that people in the wealthier parts of America, and generally America really, are saying, we don't know where this money is going. Maybe Abdullah's brother is questionable. We don't know what he does with the money. I don't know where that money ends up to. So we've got to make sure that there is safety built in there. That's the reason why this is being ruled up now. They're saying, we want to find out from these companies where this money is going. So we have to penalize the commercial companies like Barclays and the other big banks to make sure that, you know, they're penalized if things go wrong. They have to make sure that they've got safe systems. That's what it's about. And Bushara, let me just follow, without going any further, I'll say that you have been doing a wonderful campaign. I mean, you invited me to the debate that you organized in Parliament with the Treasury Minister, and it was a wonderful debate about how incredibly important this subject is. The number of people who run on this, and the people who, the NGOs and the non-governmental organizations like the Save the Children and Christian Aid Help, they need this system because that's the only way they can get, you know, resources from the rich to the poor. People who are desperate. Because I come from Kenya, I know how many people live in Taba. There's nearly 500,000 people in Taba. And a lot of those people in Taba rely on this. It's for their food, for their clothing, for their security. Now, I know the things you've been hearing out of good campaign. The ministers and the government have to listen to you because you speak so eloquently there. You're putting such a wonderful case there. But there's something missing. What is missing now is for people to see that the people are suffering if this happens.
We have to mobilize our people who live here and in London to make sure that the government here and there in Kenya and Tanzania and Somalia know there is something wrong, that something disastrous is being planned, that people are going to suffer. And we need people like yourselves to step in. You've got to talk to your neighbors. We've got to start organizing demonstrations out there in the GLA building, maybe in Westminster, so people will say, hello, there is a few people demonstrating here. Why is it they're demonstrating? Right now, not many people know what's going on. We know, you're experts in this. Some people in here are concerned because you've got family back there. You know what's happening. But we need to make it a lot wider. We need people to know. Now the thing is, let me tell you something. The government here and the banks think that they're talking on behalf of people, right? They're saying we're doing this because we want to keep our population safe. That's the reason why we're doing this. But I'll tell you something. I know that the British people, as a general people, are sympathetic to the poor. They care about Somalis. They care about poor Bangladeshis. They care about poor people who haven't got much money. They do. So if the case is taken to them, and people say to them, look, this is being done in your name, right? These poor people who live in these countries are not getting the little resources that are being sent to them. They're not getting it. As a result, they're going to suffer. The British people and the Americans will listen. I can tell you that. And the responsibility for taking this case to these people is ours. We have to take this case to them. We have to say to them, look, we are going to suffer if this takes place. So when Amina organizes the next meeting, I want to see it with flags, with drums, with marching down the road. We want to kick a fuss. On the TV, we have to kick a fuss before we fall off this edge, before we fall off this cliff. We have to do this because it's so important. It is important to me anyway. I have to tell you because my brother is going to be if he doesn't get that money. It affects me directly. So I want you to rise up with me. We have to do something. So listen to Amina, listen to Rushanara, and the next time you organize something, Amina, I'll be right behind you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Thank you.
There's always unforeseen consequences in legislation and regulation. That's consequences that are not foreseen by anybody at the time. And this is such a situation. Amid the hysteria in the media about money laundering, organized crime, terrorism, there are the unintended victims. And the unintended victims are communities such as this. And as somebody who has worked in the area of anti-money laundering regulation and who has registered a business through anti-money laundering legislation and regulation, I know for a fact that the Habshil complies with the law. They are registered under the regulations, and the decision by Barclays Bank not to do business with them any longer is just an easy way to shirk their social responsibility. In other words, they want to take the easy way out. Now, it's incumbent on us as a community, and we have many sympathizers and people who are concerned, especially in view of the fact that many of the NGOs in Somalia, Somaliland, and many of the developing countries are using the Habshil as their principal remittance agent. It's going to make it more difficult logistically to transfer money to the aid work that they are doing. What's more important and heartbreaking is that this service and other similar services are a lifeline for communities who are marginalized. who do not get their fair crack of the whip as far as international aid and international development is concerned. And it's really the people in the UK and other Western countries that support this lifeline. And it's incumbent on us, as I say, to do everything in our power. Engage with politicians. There's no reason why we can't get sympathetic politicians to set up an all-party parliamentary group on this issue. But just as important, we should be looking to engage with the shareholders. Barclays Bank is a business, other banks are business. Shareholders and corporate owners of these institutions, in order to explain the consequences of this. It's just a lazy move by Barclays. They know the Habshil is registered, but they are too afraid because of this thing which happened with HSBC in Mexico, and completely a different situation, where they were complicit in the activities of what was going on and the money laundering. This is a different situation altogether. It's a community dependent on the support of family members, friends from overseas. And so we must not allow Barclays or any other bank to shirk from their social responsibility in ensuring that they don't take the easy way out. They do the extra bit of work. And as far as I am concerned, if they have any worries about such businesses, they need to just devote a bit more time and ensure everything is going to order. As far as anti-money laundering legislation is concerned, they have shield ticks all the boxes. They do the due diligence on everybody. They've known me for years, and still they wanted a copy of my passport. There's a copy of my passport on file. They wanted to see proof of address. They do the due diligences. And the problem is the hysteria in the media. The hysteria in the media linking, making the most precarious, speculative links between so-and-so was involved in Al-Qaeda and he had money transferred, and this can happen to any bank, this can happen to any organization. The issue is, for us, we must not accept, and we must not take this lying down. Take it to the international development part of the government, the local MP, the Barclays, politicians. This is what we should do. Thank you very much.
taasoo lagu qabtay xaflad lagu badbaadinayo xawaaladihii waxay la taagan MB ka tirsan xaafadan Tower Hamlets oo iyadu ahayd dadkii hogaaminayay in xawaaladaha la badbaadiyo marka waxaan ku soo dhaweynayaa marka hore Rashwana. Welcome to salanmedia.com.
Assalamu alaikum. Pleased to be here.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Rashwana, could you please tell us the role that you played in this particular campaign?
Well, I met with a lot of my constituents and the money transfer agencies like Dahabshil and many of the other Somali money transfer agencies, as well as Bengali, Pakistani and many other organizations from different countries. And what they said to me is that if Barclays stops banking with money transfer agencies, then people wouldn't be able to get help to their families for school fees, for hospitals, for food, for clothing. And of course in Somaliland and Somalia, this is very serious because Dahabshil is the main way of getting money into that country. And I know from my constituents, my Somali constituents, that they are working to build the country. And so if the money that's given through family members is stopped because it becomes too expensive and impossible to get to, then it will cost lives and it will stop the country from rebuilding itself. We need peace and stability throughout the country, throughout the region, and that's why it's vital that companies get the support, like Dahabshil, to get support in. I'm really pleased that I've had so much support from my constituents from different backgrounds, and especially from the British Somali community. And I'm also really, really grateful to Mo Farah for supporting this campaign. He is, of course, the pride of the British Somali community, but he's also the pride of our country. And I was over the moon when he also backed this campaign. And I hope, looking forward, what we can do is continue to get more people to support our campaign. 25,500 people have signed petitions. Please keep signing them. And we need to keep the pressure on the government and the banks to get a proper solution to save companies like Dahabshil and save people from dying in countries around the world where their families...
Would Barclays Bank change their mind, do you think?
Well, what we've managed to do so far is stop them from stopping banking facilities in July. So they extended the date to September, but that's not very long. I'm also campaigning to get the government to come up with a solution, working with the regulators and the international community, because this is an international problem driven from the American regulators. So we need time, we need Barclays to give breathing room and time so that we can get the government to come up with a proper, decent solution to protect this industry and protect jobs, but also lives. So I am optimistic, but we need help. We need the help of the community through supporting our campaign, through signing petitions, through writing to their MPs, through asking for appointments with your MPs and demanding that they do something positive about this problem.
And one of the websites today we saw that they're planning to do a demonstration down in Somaliland, a peace demonstration, to demonstrate the effect this will have on Somaliland people. Would you advise the community in UK to do similar demonstrations?
Well, I think that we will need to keep the pressure on. And of course, it's up to different communities how best they do that. I think what's really important is that they raise in peaceful mechanisms, in peaceful ways, their concerns with their local members of parliament, with ministers, by writing and lobbying parliament, and through peaceful demonstrations if they want to. And I think it's really good that in Somaliland, people are showing how this affects them. I think we do need to mobilize the public. We need to make sure that the banks and the government and the regulators can see how serious this problem is.
Thank you very much for your time, Rajwana, and hopefully the community will participate, whatever advice that you're going to give it to them. Thank you once again for your time. taasi waxaa Rajwana cali oo ka hadlaysay waxa Somali community-ga looga baahan yahay iyo hawsha u baahan yahay in la qabto xagga Somali community-ga iyo iyadoo u diraysa Somali community-ga in ay ku dadaalaan sidii xawaaladaha loo badbaadin lahaa. Waxa isaga lafteeda ag taagan ninka weyn soo xawaaladaha kullu ajnabiya. Sir, could you please tell us your time? Your name?
My name is Sanumia. I'm one of the chair of community need organization.
Community need organizations. So could you please tell us the role that you played in this campaign?
In this campaign, at the beginning, some of the business people came to me and asking me to do something, and then I approached Rushnara Ali, our MP, and then Labour Party candidate John Biggs, who is a GLA member as well. So I approached both of them and asked them to come to a meeting. So I arranged a meeting in my office, and which there was some business people who does money transfer. They were there. So from there, we have decided we're going to take a step of campaign. We're going to take a petition, getting signatures from the public, as well as Rushnara has taken lead to talk about it in Parliament. And she did a long debate in there. And in the meantime, we have met so many times, getting update, planning for future, taking step by step. But he has work such as we wrote to Barclays Bank. They have some businesses extension for the closure of account. I think in the meantime, if we continue working together, getting more signature, and peacefully writing to our involving other MPs, even though conservative MPs, that would be very helpful for us to continue with the campaign.
Thank you very much for your time. qaasina waxaa nin kale isaguna leader oo ka hadlayay dhibaatooyinka ay ku dhacayso xawaaladaha oo aan ahayn Soomaalida oo kaliya ajaanib kale tahay. Anigoo Cabdilaahi Abukar waxaan idin leeyahay intaan hawada mar dambe ku kulmi doono. Wassalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh.